Hey guys, it's Ash the Fencing Bloke, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to show you guys how we build our fully framed T&G gates. So the specification on this one is we're going to do 900mm wide by 1.8 meters tall. Let's get into it. Timber pre-cut to size. As I mentioned before, we're going with 1.8 meters tall. These pieces have already been pre-cut to 1.8 meters. Quick tip for you when we're going with the width, you set out the width of the gate of what you want it to be. So like I said before, we want 900mm wide. Then you'll measure the gap between the two uprights to give you your measurement for the centre pieces that go through the middle. I've pre-cut them. So we've got a top, middle and bottom. And you simply lay them out as top. And bottom, and then mark your middle. So just wanted to quickly show you how to mark the centre of the gate so that you can get this centre piece in the middle. So what we do is we get the total height of the gate, which is 1.8 meters, divide it by 2, which gives us 90, and then we simply mark that on our gate. One there, and then we do the same for here. Now what we need to do as well is mark the centre of our piece of timber. Just that. And then we can line that up so that the lines join to make sure that the piece is dead centre. And then we're going to start screwing everything together. We use 150mm timber screws. We pre-drill all of the holes so that nothing goes offline. Now we can get our timber screws, start securing the framework. So now we've got this side of the gate all screwed up and secure, we're going to flip the gate round, like so. And then with this piece, we need to flip it and twist it to make sure that our line is in line with where we want to be. Put it back up to our jig. Now you can see here that our midpoint lines don't line up anymore. That's absolutely fine, we can sort that out in a second. That's just because the timber is moved as we started screwing it all together. So let's get this side done. Pre-drilling first, and then screwing everything together. And we get back to this bit here, which is a little bit of a problem. Just give that a little tap to get it back in line. Pull it back up so that it's in line. We're now good to go on there. That's the outer framework complete. Now we can go into how to brace it properly, and then finally adding the T&G. So now we're going to work on the bracing of the gate. So the correct way to do it is if we are looking at the back of the gate, which we are here, we want the bracing to work in line with the hinges. So for this particular gate, we're going to have the hinges on the left hand side when looking at the back, which means that the brace is going to go from this corner to this corner, and the same for there. Tip for you guys when you're marking your braces, if you lay the timber underneath the framework, it gives you the exact measurements that you need and the angle that you need for cutting the braces to make sure that it fits nice and snug and secure. So if we have a look in here, I've lined everything up so that the timber meets the corner just here, and then all we do is simply mark it with the pencil, and the same for the top. Mark that one with the pencil. Now we know that with this piece of timber, when it's been cut, we know that it's going to be the exact size that we need it to be. So now we're going to install the braces. So what we do is we pre-drill from the bottom, and we're going to install our screws basically like that, support the gate. Now that we've got the braces on, we need to flip the gate over. So this is going to be the back of the gate. So we make sure that all of our joints are nice and tidy on the back, because that's going to be seen. whereas on the front of the gate it's going to be covered with T&G, so it doesn't really matter if there's a little bit of a step where the joins are. So yeah, important part is we've marked our top and bottom of gate, so we know that this is the top of the gate. I'm going to flip the framework over, and now we can start installing the top cap first, and then we can run the T&G down. Now we've got the T&G all pre-cut, ready to go on the gate. We're going to start installing it. Now with T&G gates, the way we like to do it is, we like to mark the centre of the gate and work outwards with the pieces, so that you have the same cut on either side of the gate, rather than having full piece all the way across and then a small cut at the end. So as I mentioned before, we start with the middle, with the lines that have been pre-marked. Get yourself in line there. In line at the bottom, and we can start installing reuse the nails gun. If we look over the top of the gate here, you'll see I've left this piece out here. Now the reason being is we want to be nailing our diagonals here, but we want it nice and neat. So if you look at this side where I have installed the board, you can't see where the diagonals are. So if we take that out and move it to one side, we can then get a straight piece of timber, hold it up to where we're going to be marking as a template, and then with a pencil we can mark the boards where the nails are going to be going, so that we've got a nice straight line and it all looks nice, neat and tidy for the rest of the project. Now we know where all of our nails are going to go. So the final step is to put the nails in on the diagonal with the marks that we made before. So we just line up our straight piece of timber and then run our nails. So that's how you build one of our gates.